Lil Tay had once issued a serious warning to 6ix9ine.
Somebody gonna die. His time gonna come.
But Tekashi brushed it off, laughing like always, and kept stirring the pot.
You a little boy to me. I'll kiss you on your forehead. You a little boy.
Now things have spiraled way past internet trolling. His ex is dead, and a chilling video just went viral that could link Lil Che directly to the murder. Let's unpack this, because what looks like another rap beef might actually be a cold-blooded hit. The viral surveillance footage spreading across social media doesn't just rattle hip-hop, it could tear it apart. The clip allegedly shows Lil Che sending money tied to the assassination of Ariella Langosta Mayor Paleno, better known online as Lan Costa, Tekashi's longtime friend and confidant. If this turns out to be real, it's not rap drama anymore. It's contract killing. Ariella wasn't just another name in 6ix9ine in circle. She was part of his inner world for years, an influencer, model, and bartender with over 500,000 Instagram followers. She appeared in his 2023 Wape video, where Tekashi called her the Queen of New York and even compared her to his sister. But on August 17, 2025, Ariella's life ended violently. She was found shot multiple times inside her car on the Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon, New York, just outside Manhattan. Police have already ruled it a targeted hit. No robbery, no mistaken identity. This was an execution. And here's where things get even darker, because a viral video hints that Lil Che might have bankrolled the entire thing. To understand why this theory has the internet buzzing, you need to rewind. Ariella was more than a side character in Tekashi's life. She was family. When news of her death broke, 6ix9ine flooded Instagram with tributes. New York won't ever be the same. I loved you. You were with me through everything. For him, her death wasn't just tragic. It felt like a direct message. But here's the twist. Lil Che knew exactly what it was like to be on the receiving end of a gun. Back in June 2022, he was ambushed outside a Chipotle in Edgewater, New Jersey. Just 21 years old, he was leaving the restaurant past midnight when shots rang out. 7 bullets ripped through his chest and upper body, collapsing his lungs and leaving him clinging to life. Witnesses described chaos, screams, sirens, and paramedics desperately trying to keep him alive as blood covered the pavement. The shooter, a man named Mohammed Connate, was later arrested and charged with attempted murder. Authorities claimed it was a robbery, not connected to rap beef. But the streets didn't buy it, because while Lil Che was in surgery, fighting for his life, Tekashi was online laughing. He dropped laughing emojis under DJ Academic's post about the shooting, mocking his rival's near-death struggle just as he had done when King Von was killed. Fans were disgusted, calling 6ix9ine a rat, a clown, and the most hated man in hip-hop. For weeks, Che's survival was uncertain. He spent days unconscious, machines keeping him alive. Against the odds, he pulled through, and when he came back, he dropped a single title Beat the Odd to mark his survival. Even 50 Cent, who famously survived 9 bullets, reached out with advice, encouraging him to push through. By late summer 2022, billboards went up across the Bronx reading, "I'm back." Fans hailed him as bulletproof. His career rebounded with momentum and respect. But deep down, the scars weren't just physical. He remembered the laughter, the memes, and the disrespect. And those memories don't fade. So now, when the internet sees leaked footage that seems to tie him to Ariella's murder, they connect the dots instantly. Was this revenge? Was this retaliation for the humiliation he felt while clinging to life? To really grasp the weight of this, you need to know who Ariella Langosta was. She wasn't just a pretty face in music videos. She was a single mother, a nightlife hustler who worked clubs in Queens, and a self-made influencer who turned her charisma into 500,000 followers. Just weeks before her death, she had posted videos from Colombia, smiling poolside, captioning them "blessed." But on August 17th, her story ended in gunfire. Police didn't mince words. This was a targeted homicide. The same phrase they used back in 2022 when Lil Che was nearly killed. And that's why people can't shake the feeling that this isn't coincidence. The streets believe it's full circle, an eye for an eye, blood for blood.
Bro, you can't do all that, bro, and then try to justify snitching, bro. No, yeah, I think that he did the right thing, yeah. Just get the out of this culture. Like, stay in your lane.
The disrespect between them was never just trolling, it was venom. And look where it's led. One man barely escaped death. The other is now accused of bankrolling a murder. Think about the chain of events. Lil Che gets riddled with 7 bullets. 6ix9ine mocks him. 3 years later, someone close to 6ix9ine is executed in broad daylight. Then a clip leaks, allegedly showing Che moving money tied to the hit. You couldn't script a darker escalation. It feels less like entertainment and more like a Greek tragedy playing out in real time, one that even diehard hip-hop fans are starting to question. Has the game gone too far? Online, the reaction exploded. Some called it karma, street justice finally served. Others swore the clip was fake, another manufactured setup to pit artists against each other. But everyone agreed on one thing. The timing, the history, and the bad blood make this one of the most disturbing feuds in rap history. And we're only seeing the surface. This is about more than a personal clash. It's about a culture where pride, betrayal, and revenge create an endless cycle of bullets and blood. A world where being called a snitch, or even being mocked as a little boy, can spiral into ICU beds and funeral processions. The most chilling detail? Police haven't arrested a single suspect for Ariello's murder. If the viral money trail is real, the world may have just witnessed proof of a rapper greenlighting a hit, while law enforcement hasn't even made a move yet. That's why this story matters. It's not gossip. It's another bloody chapter in a feud already soaked in violence. And if history is any clue, this won't be the final act. The mystery deepens when you rewind Ariello's last days. Weeks before she was killed, she was traveling, posting sunlit vacation clips from Colombia, smiling, writing captions like happy and blessed. That glow makes the way her body was later found, slumped behind the wheel, riddled with bullets, all the more haunting. Police confirmed what everyone suspected. This wasn't a robbery gone wrong. It wasn't random gunfire. This was a precision strike carried out while she was driving. Whoever pulled that trigger knew exactly who their target was. So, when the alleged wire footage of Lil Che surfaced, the narrative practically wrote itself. His history with 6ix9ine. His own brush with death. The cool laughter from 6ix9ine while Che lay in critical condition. Years of venom between them. Add it all up, and to the internet, this wasn't coincidence. It was payback. And don't forget, Lil Che once ranted on live, making threats people brushed off at the time.
Somebody gonna die. His time gonna come, but not for me. But somebody gonna holler at that boy, to be real.
Back then, fans dismissed it as nothing but tough talk. But now, those words sound like prophecy. This isn't just another rapper caught in the cycle of beef. Ariello wasn't an MC. She wasn't in the street wars. She was a nightlife worker, a single mom, a friend, a woman with dreams of her own. Her only crime was being close to 6ix9ine. And for some, that was reason enough to mark her for death. Hip-hop has always thrived on beef. Nas versus Jay-Z, 50 vs. Ja Rule, Drake versus Meek. Those battles were lyrical, and they built careers. But there's a line between bars and bullets. And every year, that line gets thinner. 6ix9ine set the tone, snitching on his own gang, mocking dead rappers, clowning survivors. Lil Che positioned himself as the opposite, the gritty Bronx kid with credibility, the one who survived 7 bullets. Together, they created a cocktail too toxic to contain. And Ariello's murder may just be the cost of that poison spilling over. This story isn't just about rap beef, it's about how clout replaced conscience. How online insults now translate into real-life obituaries. How people on the edges of fame, like Ariello, become collateral damage. Her name shouldn't just be remembered as 6ix9ine's girlfriend. She was a woman with her own story, her own spark. And that spark was extinguished on a New York highway in a hail of bullets. Now her death is being twisted into proof of revenge. Proof that the streets never forget. Proof that every debt eventually gets collected in blood. The chilling question remains, who's next? Because if Ariello's death was a headline, the feud between Lil Che and 6ix9ine is a long-running backstory that explains it all. This wasn't random. It wasn't sudden. It was years in the making, years of insults, humiliation, and competition for New York's crown. And it all began with 3 words, King of New York. In May 2020, a hungry 19-year-old Lil Che had just dropped his state of emergency mixtape. With the Bronx behind him, he declared himself the king of the city. It wasn't just confidence, it was a direct challenge to every rapper in New York. especially one rainbow-haired provocateur who had just walked out of prison early, Tekashi 6ix9ine. At that moment, the stage was set for war.
I'm gonna box that nigga for. Box that nigga for. What am I box that nigga for? What am I gonna get out of that, bro? Nobody hurting each other. If that nigga knocked me out, which he never would, I would slap the out that nigga. I got everything to lose and rap, but I'm not playing no sport with that. You goofy.
It was raw. It was unfiltered. And it was exactly the type of fuel 6ix9ine lies for. He pounced instantly, mocking Che's chains, clowning his age, brushing him off like a child.
All this fake, right? But let me tell you this. That label called me. Somebody from his camp. I ain't gonna say his label. Somebody from his camp called somebody from my camp. Somebody that give me $3 million to keep trolling with this nigga, right? Dead. I hope y'all on here looking and listening. That's dead, man. I never turn my back on the fucking beast.
You a little boy to me. I'll kiss you on your forehead. Sit down. King's home. It's over. That line didn't just go viral because of the insult. It went viral because of the arrogance. Here was 6ix9ine, fresh out of prison, branded a snitch forever, and yet he was still doubling down on disrespect. Still baiting rappers half his age. Still refusing to play by the culture's code. But Lil Che wasn't playing either. In May 2020, just as attention reached a breaking point, he went live on Instagram and mocked the idea of fighting Tekashi. "I'ma box that fool," he sneered, not seriously, but sarcastically.
All y'all niggas on 6ix9ine suck my.
It wasn't about a fight. It was about disrespect. He wasn't saying he'd beat Tekashi. He was saying 6ix9ine wasn't even worth swinging at. And for someone who feeds off ego like Tekashi, that was gasoline on a fire. But then came the twist. By September 2020, whispers started spreading. 6ix9ine's team was allegedly offering rappers cash to keep fake beef alive. Why? Because controversy pays. Every insult means more streams, more clicks, more money. Tekashi knew that better than anyone. First, Lil Durk came forward, claiming he was offered $3 million to keep beefing with Tekashi. Days later, Lil Che confirmed he got the same call. He told fans 6ix9ine and people tried to pay him for stage beef. He refused. That revelation hit the culture like a bomb. In an industry already flooded with ghostwriters, fake numbers, and manufactured drama, the idea that Tekashi's enemies might just be paid actors was wild. Were these feuds real? Or scripted for clout? Che drew his line in the sand. He wasn't for sale. His exact words, "They did the same with me. F asterisk asterisk is money." Asterisk. That cemented the rivalry. It wasn't just about music anymore. It was pride. And then came the Rolling Loud moment. 2020, Lil Che walked out on stage with none other than 6ix9ine's baby mama. Right there, in front of thousands, he crowned himself the new king of New York. That wasn't trolling. That was humiliation. That was war. Fast forward to 2022. Che is riddled with 7 bullets. Nearly dead. And Tekashi? He's laughing in the comments. Emojis that turned the beef into something irreversible. This wasn't just rap anymore. It was survival. Even after clawing back from death, Che wouldn't stop. In 2024, he twisted the knife deeper, linking up with Tekashi's ex, Yalan Lamas. He gifted her a chain engraved with Trench Kid, posted the photos online, and let the internet do the rest. Fans instantly drew comparisons to Tupac posing with Faith Evans to spite Biggie. It wasn't just disrespect. It was legacy-level humiliation. Tekashi didn't respond, but his silence was louder than words. By 2025, the war shifted. Tekashi started aiming lower, dragging the names of the dead into his trolling, mocking Wulotti in TikTok skits, clowning the Bronx drill scene as a whole. Lil Che fired back, calling Tekashi a fraud, attacking fans who still supported him, and in one furious rant he declared,
Somebody gonna die. His time gonna come, but not for me. But somebody gonna holler at that boy.
"This beef ain't ending. Every year it's another disc, another humiliation, another shot fired. This don't stop." And he was right. This feud didn't cool off, it mutated. Fake beef offers, public stunts, women dragged in, shootings, hospital beds. It's no wonder people believe Ariello's death wasn't random. Because beef like this doesn't fade. It escalates. And history tells us how this ends. Not peacefully. Look back. 50 Cent versus Ja Rule. Gunshots, stabbings, indictments. Tupac versus Biggie. Murders that defined an era. Chief Keef Chicago scene. Body after body. Still counting. Lil Che and Tekashi aren't just repeating the cycle. They are writing their own bloody version of it, right now, in real time. Zoom out, and the pattern is obvious. Che came up in the Bronx drill wave, where breakout stars and murder victims often shared the same headlines. His own career was littered with arrests, gun charges, and violence. To fans, his untouchable. To critics, his reckless. Either way, blood follows his name. Tekashi, meanwhile, built his empire on chaos. He ran with the 9 Trey Bloods, bankrolled gang activity, and filmed videos surrounded by guns. By 2018, it blew up in his face, racketeering charges, federal indictments, and his infamous testimony that earned him the snitch label forever. Even after prison, violence chased him. Brawls in clubs, ambushes in Miami, the viral LA fitness bathroom beatdown in 2023. And surrounding them, more names turned tombstones. Pop Smoke, King Von, Wu Lottie, and now Ariella. The streets don't wait for police reports. They connect the dots themselves. And the story they're writing is simple. Lil Che almost died. Tekashi laughed. Now someone close to Tekashi is dead. The streets call that balance. But here's the truth. There's no balance in this game. Only escalation. Because as one old clip of Lil Che once warned, half joke, half prophecy. Time's coming. And after Ariello's murder, fans believe that time has already arrived. The only question now is the one nobody wants to answer. Who's next?